Hello and welcome to Hail Trace's hail forecast for the next 2 days for Thursday and Friday. This is just a rerun of the webinar that we held at 11:30 Central Daylight Time today. So just wanted to give everybody the opportunity, if you couldn't make it, to see exactly what it was that we talked about with the severe weather coming up. So let's go ahead and jump right into the that forecast we covered in the webinar today. We did a shameless plug for the company. I just wanted to give everybody an idea of what we do, how we do it a little bit different than some people. And so just a chance to learn a little bit more about HailTrace. Then we talked a little bit about the history of the storm system that's affecting there. Kind of interesting where it came from. Again, all that real brief. Then we really got into depth on the three waves of the system, so how it's going to eject out into a couple of different waves, causing severe weather across the plains. And then we did a question and answer time, and you'll be more than welcome to email us with any questions or post any questions that you might have on our Facebook or on our Twitter page, or even Google Plus, or through LinkedIn. So any way that you can get a hold of us, more than welcome. Again, we talked a little bit about how each map is analyzed by our radar experts. So we actually have somebody that looks at the radar each time a severe thunderstorm happens across the U.S., determines exactly where the hail is falling out, what size of hail it was. We use a lot of different things to research this. But one of the things that we use is this is an example of a 3D radar image. You can see the tilt on the thunderstorm, and each thunderstorm is going to have a different tilt, which is going to cause the hail to develop differently. It's going to cause the radar to see it as a different size, and then it's also going to cause it to drop out in different locations. And with each storm system, everything is laid out in a different manner. There's one of the nice things, or one of the unique things about weather, one of my favorite things about weather, is that nothing is ever the same. And so an algorithm is great to give us an idea of what might be happening with that thunderstorm, but it's definitely not exact, and it's not close. And that's why we actually are able to go through and analyze each one of these thunderstorms to help us determine where the best location, or where these hailstones are falling at, and really increase the accuracy with our hail maps. A couple other maps that you can look at. This is a storm that had a really big tilt, also was really short, but because of the volume, or the amount of hail that was in the storm, the radar actually analyzed this as 3-inch hail, and so it really increased the hail size on this thunderstorm. But was inaccurate. The hail was actually anywhere from quarter to golf ball size, a few 2-inch hailstones, but not 3 to 4-inch hails, not softball size hail. In fact, this storm impacted our office, so we know exactly what the hail size was in the thunderstorm, and we were able to analyze that, get it to the right size, show the areas that were affected properly, and get you an accurate hail map. So one of the things that we do to make things a little bit different. Also, many thunderstorms, the top of them gets cut off by radar, and that also allows the radar to not analyze the entire column of that thunderstorm. This is one over Cleveland, Ohio, and again, it's not going to be accurate because the top of the thunderstorm is being cut off. So the radar is unable to identify the hail size in that thunderstorm. We're able to pull information from other radar sites and then determine exactly where it falls by looking at the local radar site. So just a few things that we do to help really increase the accuracy of our hail maps. I wanted to get that out so everybody can know kind of what the difference is between HailTrace and a lot of the other companies that are out there. Again, code does not generate our hail maps. We make each one of them. So if something's wrong with the radars analyzing on that storm, we're able to determine that and put the proper size of hail down with our maps. The new app that we're building is going to allow you quick access to the maps. So we'll actually be updating the maps, not quite live, but pretty close. As we draw them out, it's actually going to update them on our website. So giving you quicker access to determine the areas that are affected with hail. And you'll also be able to track and export list of your customers that were hit. So as each one of your customers are hit, you'll be able to export a list of the ones that were hit, so that way you can make contact with them as you need to, or as your company would do so. So that's a little bit about. Let's go jump into the history real quick on this big time storm system that's coming in. It actually developed as a hurricane out in the Pacific Ocean, winds up to 105 miles per hour with this hurricane. Then as it moved off to the north, it lost its hurricane characteristics or tropical characteristics. It just became a real large, powerful low pressure system, went up across Alaska and then dove down to the south, went into Washington and Oregon. As it impacted the Washington, Oregon area, actually had a lower pressure than any hurricane that's happened so far in the Atlantic. So it was a very powerful storm system as it moved out and moved onshore, caused a lot of rain, a lot of wind, a lot of snow. And then now as it's moving across the Rockies today, causing a lot of snow across the Rockies. And as it ejects out across the Rockies out into the plains, we're going to see severe weather. We're also going to notice a pretty powerful winter storm that's going to develop. So you folks work in the Cheyenne, Wyoming areas, up towards Rapid City, up towards Bismarck, North Dakota. You're going to have to get off the roofs for a little while. Looks like you're going to have some pretty heavy snow. Should melt by next week and you'll be able to get back to work. But then that severe weather is going to eject out on 3 different waves. So let's go ahead and jump into wave number 1. Storm system. Again, this is for this afternoon, this evening, and tonight. We're watching an area that's, again, pretty big. That runs from close to Dubuque, Waterloo, all the way down towards Omaha, Lincoln, and possibly as far south as Hastings and Grand Island. We've got an area highlighted here from Des Moines back to Omaha. This might actually stretch back a little further back towards Lincoln as well, and maybe even and hold a little bit more of Omaha, looking at some of the latest trends. So you might want to stretch this back just a little bit to the west to cover a little bit wider area. But again, hail up to the size of golf balls, possibly as large as 2 inch in a few of the stronger storms if they're able to develop. And these are the chances of hail. Again, maybe a little bit higher now in Lincoln, and probably still about the same around Hastings, around 5%, and about a 15 to 20% chance up towards Des Moines, and probably now about a 10% chance. Everything's shifting back just a little bit on this system over towards Waterloo. So again, conditional 2-inch hail threat. That'll be an isolated storm or two, but if it hits the right area, significant damage. Now, as we head into Friday from about noon to 4 p.m., we'll be watching the warm front that looks like it's going to fire some thunderstorms across the late morning hours into the early afternoon hours. Those thunderstorms will stretch across the northeast part of Iowa, southern Wisconsin, and the southeast part of Minnesota. Again, the hail not extremely large, mainly quarter size or smaller, but a few of the storms could produce up to golf ball size hail, and the chances of hail anywhere from 5% up around Green Bay and Rockford to 10% over towards Milwaukee, Madison, and then the highest chance, 15% from Dubuque to La Crosse over towards Rochester and Waterloo, and then a lower chance, 5% around Des Moines. Now, as we head into Friday evening, this is kind of when the big show, the most important part of this storm system kicks out. A large area from Green Bay and Minneapolis all the way down to Wichita Falls, Texas, will have the potential for large hail. And then we have 2 different pockets where we feel like some very large hail is possible, with the largest being from areas from around Kansas City up to around Rochester, Minnesota. So that'll be the area that we'll be watching. Again, hail up to the size of baseballs possible on the warm front. Green Bay, some hail possible in the afternoon and evening, 10% chance. Same thing around Madison and Cedar Rapids, and a 25% chance. Minneapolis, you're on the line, so if the warm front makes it up to Minneapolis, watch out. You should have some big hail in the area. If it holds back a little bit further to the south, and the chance of hail might be a little bit lower. But Rochester looks like our kind of pick city right now, about a 40% chance at receiving some large hail. 35% down towards Des Moines, 15% chance for Omaha and Lincoln. If things slow down just a little bit, that chance could go up, and about a 25% chance in Kansas City. Again, we'll be watching the southern end of that line in Kansas City to produce the big hail. If it's able to back build all the way down to south of Kansas City and then move up into the area, some large hail is definitely possible. And 10% chance, think more of a wind threat, and really may even push past Wichita before it even gets a chance to fire. And then Oklahoma City, Wichita Falls will do about a 10% chance. The storms on the end of this line down here will have a chance to rotate just a little bit better, and they'll have the opportunity to produce some larger hail, as they won't be so involved in that line being undercut by the cold front. So that's basically what we'll be watching. So again, the potential is there for some very large hail. We'll be sending out text alerts to our customers. We'll be putting the maps online. We're hoping to have, We may actually switch some of you over to our new application for the storm system tomorrow, so we'll be kind of pushing real hard to get to that. If not, we'll be doing that in the next week or two, getting everybody switched over and seeing the new service that we're offering. So extremely excited about that. If you have any questions or anything, please feel free to give us a call, 855-334-4245, or you can email me at derek@hailtrace.com. Look forward to hearing your questions. Hope you have a great afternoon.